Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I am here to show you my Graphic45 Midnight Tales mini album. There will be a tutorial on this, but it's a pretty intense mini album. Lots of flips and flaps and folds. It's not difficult, it's just there is a lot to it, so make sure you have paper. And by the way, the paper that I used was the Patterns and Solids and the 8x8 collection. And I also used a package of ephemera, and I think I only had 3 or 4 pieces left, which for me is amazing because sometimes it's hard to find places to use all those, but it came together real well. If you start with the 12x12 paper, it'll be easier because at the end I still had a couple of pieces left to use, but if you start with the 12x12, it will work with that. So let me take you inside and show you the mini album. So here it is. It is 5x7, and it is 2 1/4. Just making sure. It is almost 3 inches tall, and I probably could have even gone taller. There is still room for photos, lots of photos, and lots of fun creepiness inside. So let me give you a close-up of the cover and tell you a little about it. First of all, I used this specialty paper that I've had in my stash. Now it is a purple, not a purpley blue. Let me see if I can make it look more purple than it is. I figured you probably could use an embossing template and on some thin kind of paper, and that might work for some pattern paper. And you don't absolutely need it. You could do the cover without it. So it is purple. I did use some black distressing just to put a little on the edges. Now this was one of the cards from the ephemera kit. The main title page, I guess, from the 8x8 collection had this witch, and it said Midnight Tales below. You can almost see it a little bit, but I tried to cover it. But it wasn't big and bold, and I really, I like to have a title on my mini album. You don't always have to, but in this case I wanted a title. So this Hocus Pocus was from the ephemeras also, and I did pop it up. You can't tell with the camera, but I did pop it up. I fussy cut some of these pumpkins from one of the papers in the collection. This is a border strip. This gauze-like material I had in my stash, and I just added it for a little texture. There's purple below, and then purple with the cobwebs on top of that, then the gauze, then a piece of the orange paper, and then the ephemera card. And by the way, I had cut a little bit because it was too big for what I needed, so I cut it down. And then I added a couple of bats just to get a little creepiness to it. So that is the cover, and then I'll take you inside. So it opens up, and here is the front inside cover. Now I cut this out of paper with orange below it, so that's actually 2 different pieces. And it's open on the top, so you can stick photographs or whatever in it. And as well, these stamps are open on the side, so if you had a photo for here, it still would work for this. This I backed with some black cardstock and actually popped it up. These were from the ephemera collection, so that worked really well. So here's the first page, and this is actually a pocket. There was a 4x4 cut apart that I could use. And here is the flap for the pocket. This was from the ephemera. I put one on each side. And then this opens up like that with room for your photos. This is open on the bottom, so you could stick your photo under there. So isn't that neat? That's one of the Patterns and Solids. And this goes in like that. And then there is a pocket, because this is a pocket mini album. So this is smaller than 4x6. So you would have to trim down a 4x6 photo or put a 4x4 photo there. So the back of page 1 has this hocus pocus with these creatures. Still not sure what they are, but this opens up this way. And this is from the ephemera sheet. Then this comes down. And then this flap opens to the side, and so does that, to reveal a pocket. And I used that from a border strip from one of the 8x8 sheets. And there is a just a little card to put photos on. And this little one says trick or treat, and here is a tag from the ephemera sheet. So that'll close, and there is a magnet holding that. I tried not to use magnets on all of the pages, and you'll see what I did instead of magnets. This was a frame from the ephemera sheet, and I cut a moon from that same purple sheet that you saw before and just put it here. So I liked how we have this small black and white checkerboard here, and these pages are similar in that they're the same tone, although they're different patterns. So this will open like that, and there's more to it. And then I've got a library style pocket. Now, I did have these spider brads in my stash from so many years ago, but I thought they would work really well here, so I did. And then this will open like that, and that'll open like that. And actually these are accordions. So you can put 4 photos on 6, maybe 5 on each one. I have to count it again. So then this comes down. There's another one of those pumpkins, and it is open. And then this, I left blank just because it was a real pow factor once you opened this up. And I think I might keep it blank. I don't know. But anyhow, this comes out completely. So you can put some photos in here. And the cool thing about this is not the title, but if you had 4x6 portrait photos, you can put it on here because the writing, it goes all different ways. So you could do either orientation of your photos there. So that goes back in there. And you can put other things in the pocket if you wanted to. There's a lot of room there. So this will go down. These will go like that. We'll tie it closed. This is some purple and white baker's twine that I've had in my stash for quite a while. And that just closes. There's not a magnet holding that. Whoops. And then in the side pocket is that. And there's a piece of ephemera. And actually, if you put it this way, it's just as cool. But that goes in there. There are 4 pages in here, just 4. It looks like a lot more, but it's 4. So now we turn this over and we come to these matching pages. There we go. So this came from the ephemera sheet. I backed it on some chipboard and obviously used a black brad. So this will open that way, and then this will open, and that will open. And here is a little tuck spot with a tag, and this came from one of the 8x8 cut apart sheets. And then this also opens that way to show you this fabulous, I mean, I love this orange and black graphic. And of course here there's room for your photo. So that'll close like that, and this turns around. The key and the lock is part of the ephemera. And also in the side of these pockets is another tuck spot with room for your photos. That's from the ephemera sheet. Or it's not a sheet, it's the collection. So that'll go here. And of course this is the same thing, and that'll open that way. And that goes like that. There's this timepiece I thought would be great here, and you can tuck a photo behind that. So it's small, but it's mighty. There is a lot here. And of course here is the photo mat that is sort of just a large side-loading pocket there. And there is the hidden photo mat tucked inside of this page. So now we take you to this spread. This was one of the 4x4 cut aparts. It's backed on the purple paper. It says Fly Away, and it's got a beautiful witch. Beautiful witch. So this will open up, and this is some seam binding that is also a tuck spot for photos, but this also opens this way. And again, you can put photos under there. It's not attached always. And then that gives you room, of course, to put a good size photo. And over here, so we've got this. Isn't that a beautiful cut apart? I mean, I just love the detail of it. It looks almost like lace. So this will open. It's held together with a magnet. It'll open that way. So room for photos, room for more photos. And then this opens up. And there's more. This also comes up, and this is a pocket and room for photos in here. It could go landscape, it could go portrait, whatever you have the need for. And that closes like that. And then here is the photo mat that is inside that pocket page. And on the last page, these came from the ephemera collection, and they were the same size as this. I just cut it down because I needed it to be smaller. So we'll do this side first. This opens all the way. So instead of a magnet, I used this. Now if you don't have a brad and any kind of shapes, you can use a magnet, but again, I wanted to do something a little different. So this little ticket is open on the bottom, and it's a tuck spot, but again, room for a 4x4 photo. And same on here. And then that closes. And this one opens and swings this way. So there is a ticket here with one of the pumpkin tags, and here is that page, room for your photo right there. Now this page, again, they coordinate, but they're not exactly the same. They don't match, you know, they're totally different pages. This is an expandable pocket with a flap. You'll find I tend to do that on a lot of my mini albums. I just like to have room for all those odds and ends, all those photos you didn't find room for. So this Trick or Treat came from the ephemera, and this will open up, and here is the last of the 3 tags that sort of match the tags that are in here. And then this will come out, and there is room to put your photos, landscape or portrait. And once you put it in, I mean, if you have a 4x4 photo, you could do it either way, but if you had a 4x6 photo, you'd have to cut it down a little bit, but you'd only see just the littlest of the green and orange border around it, so you could use it for portrait or landscape photos. And that goes into that pocket, and as I said, that's an accordion pocket. There's lots of room in there for stashing your photos, whether they're your 4x6 photos or 4x4. And I did show how I did this library style closure. People have asked me for that, and I don't always show you in my tutorials, but I did this time. And I show you how I put the magnets in. I tell you a little bit about how I add the what would you call it? Twisty tie, I don't know. I'll think of the word in a second. So the back just has that purple. Here is the spine with that great paper, and here we are again to the front. It's a nice compact mini album, but there's still room. There is still room in here. It's still got room, so this would be a fabulous place to put your Halloween photos. Good for a hostess gift, for if you had a Halloween party. I don't know. Sky's the limit. I'm also going to do this same style with a different paper, another Halloween style paper, but so that way you can get an idea of different looks. And some people don't have this Graphic45, so I try to go from different sources when I do different mini albums using the same design, so you can see what it looks like with different paper. So that tutorial will be coming up soon. Go ahead and hit the like button, please, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber and you want to see some more fabulous mini albums. I do a lot for beginners, but as you can see, I do some for those more experienced mini album makers or beginners who want to challenge themselves. It's just cutting and folding paper. It's easy. You just have to follow the instructions. And the instructions are pretty straightforward. You really won't have a problem as long as you go through. I tell you what to cut, I tell you how to score, and I show you me putting it together. So that's what we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.